Welcome to Pixel Flicks. I'm your host Ryan, and today we're reviewing a movie classic, Jurassic Park.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
Dinosaurs, theme parks, chaos theory. Jurassic Park isn't just a movie, it's a turning point in cinema that still holds today as being one of the greatest movies ever made. This is a movie that if you grew up in the 90s, I'm sure holds a lot of nostalgia for you and sparked some sort of interest or love of dinosaurs. 1990 was the year, and Michael Crichton's Jurassic Park was first released as a novel. Spielberg officially secured the rights with the help of Universal Studios in May 1990, with production starting a few weeks later. The movie differs from the book, with Spielberg saying the book was too big, at over 400 pages, and he'd likely need about only 10% of the actual content of the book. He also felt there were too many dinosaurs, and it just wouldn't be possible to have them all in the movie. I think this was probably the right decision given the technology at the time. Another noticeable change from the book is the violence involved. Spielberg thought the book would be too violent for audiences and wanted to capture more of the adventure and wonder he experienced from reading the book. One of the noticeable changes that we get fairly early on in the book, a dinosaur actually kills a baby at the start of the book. In a way, this was brought over to the second Jurassic Park movie, The Lost World, where a young girl's killed off screen at the start, and you get the famous scene with our mum screaming, which leads into a excellent transition between the mother screaming and Dr. Ian Malcolm doing a yawn. Very good. Now, if you've never watched the film, this is the story. If you've never watched the film, I'm not sure why you're here. But anyway, here's the story. Paleontologist Dr. Alan Grant and botanist Dr. Ellie Sattler are invited to a remote island by eccentric billionaire John Hammond, who's built a theme park full of genetically resurrected dinosaurs. Along for the ride, chaotician Dr. Ian Malcolm, very difficult to say, and Hammond's grandkids, because sure, why not bring the kids along to a park full of dangerous dinosaurs? What starts as a scientific marvel quickly descends into prehistoric mayhem when the park security system fails, thanks to some espionage and one very greedy IT guy, Dennis Nedry, legend. Dinosaurs escape, humans run for their lives, and chaos proves that nature doesn't care how advanced your tech is. I remember seeing this film pretty young. I was 8 years old. I saw it in the cinema. My parents quite happily took me along to see this movie in a packed cinema. Remember very clearly in our local cinema at the time, the Magnum in Irvine. I watched it there, and it's pretty mental to think that I was 8 years old and got to see it. This movie somehow got a PG rating in UK cinemas, which later was upgraded to a 12A, I think in the 2000s or something along those lines. This movie has some genuine horror inspired moments. The whole sequence with the T Rex is fantastic, even by today's standards. All the scenes involving the raptors are creepy and have a real element of menace to them. The scene where the Dilophosaurus catches up to Nedry, again, that was terrifying as an 8-year-old. And again, I'm not sure I'm not scared of dinosaurs. But yeah, that whole sequence was absolutely terrifying as well. But then you've got that mixed along with the childlike wonder that I had seen. To me at the time, it was like real dinosaurs basically on screen. When Grant meets the Triceratops, that stood out as a moment for me that I remember being so jealous of him. It felt like it was like a big cuddly creature that he was getting to cuddle into, albeit a very sick one, but he was getting to cuddle into some sort of big, cuddly looking creature. Um, and then as an adult watching it now, I appreciate some of the bigger themes that it play, like the corporate greed that we see. And also there's the should man play God discussion that you kind of have with Ian through the film. I think all these elements combine together to create a story that just feels timeless and can be watched, as I say, at any age. And as I've watched it from an 8-year-old to 40-year-old now, you do still find new things about the film that you appreciate and learn to enjoy. Because of the cost involved going towards dinosaur effects, the director sought to cast relatively unknown actors. According to Wikipedia, Kurt Russell and Richard Dreyfuss were considered for the role of Alan Grant, but were too much money. William Hurt, Tim Robbins, and the old faithful Harrison Ford all turned down the role, with eventually going to Sam Neill, who I actually think was a pretty perfect person to cast. Allegedly, Jim Carrey auditioned for the part of Dr. Ian Malcolm, but eventually obviously went to Jeff Goldblum. I, however, think the cast in this movie are fantastic, with everyone giving memorable performances. Even the child actors get a pass, which, if you know me, that's a big deal. It's hard to talk about this movie and not discuss how groundbreaking the effects were. Spielberg was initially going to go with stop motion process known as go motion and have full scale animatronics, full scale models, but the cost was rising and the work that was involved in it was proven to be a bit too much. Go motion basically just uses a motion blur effect on the models and the animatronics to create the illusion of movement. Spielberg wasn't entirely satisfied with this product, however, and turned his eye to CGI. He was shown a short video of a Gallimimus skeleton, or a group of them, similar to what you see in the movie, running, I think, out of a room. Um, just something that the CGI architects at ILM put together for him, just to give him an idea of what it looked like, and he was blown away instantly. He couldn't believe what he was seeing, and he decided full steam ahead on the CGI. I'm someone who's really put off by bad CGI, can really take me out of the film. But this film I feel like stands the test of time. The only time I ever really have any issues with the CGI is when you first see the Brachiosaurus at the start, and it doesn't look the best. I don't know if it's because of the scale of the dinosaur that they're trying to create. All looks a wee bit sketchy, but other than that, everything else in the movie still I maintain stands up and is amazing. The T Rex walking across in front of the car, like that just looks like a real dinosaur. That there's nothing about that looks fake. To me, this is the perfect blend of CGI and practical. There was full scale or half bodied T Rexes that they built for certain scenes. So when the T Rex is coming through the plexiglass of the vehicle, that's like real. That's an actual big dinosaur head, and I feel that you can see that in actors' faces as well because they genuinely look terrified. Um, I often cite this movie as being one of the perfect examples of how to use CGI and the right amount of it, and where practical should be used, and where CGI can step in and do some heavy lifting. Now, John Williams, he continues his relationship with Steven Spielberg. Again, probably most Steven Spielberg films have had a John Williams score in some way, shape, or form. So naturally, he came on board and produced another masterpiece for this one. For me, it's up there as one of the most iconic movies scores ever produced. I love this one. Jurassic Park shares company with some of John Williams' work from Star Wars and Superman. Has been instantly recognisable. Williams is quoted as saying the production process he wanted to match the rhythmic rhythmic gyrations of the dinosaurs, which you can really hear in the score. The movie was honoured at the 66th Academy Awards, getting 3 Oscars. A shame it didn't get more, but it was a pretty stacked year for 1993. We got Best Sound Effects Editing, and Best Visual Effects, which I think you can't really argue with because, yeah, it was the top of its game for some of this stuff. This movie's had a massive cultural footprint. Um, Back in the 90s, you had just loads of Jurassic Park gear. Obviously, you can see I'm sporting a Jurassic Park t shirt, one of many that I've got. I've got a Jurassic Park Funko in the background there. Yeah, it's one of these things that has just spanned time. It's still going on, still got people buying stuff for it, still got an interest in dinosaurs because dinosaurs will live on forever. I had a Jurassic Park lunchbox way back in the day. I remember when The Lost World came out, my cousin had two Jurassic Park Raptors, and I stole them from him because I was dying for them and I didn't have them and I wanted them. So I took them. I was round there for like a play date or something and I took them. So, David, if you're ever watching this, I apologise, but not really. I saw a stat whilst doing a bit of research for this that it was obviously the biggest movie of its time when it was released until Titanic came around. It had the biggest box office. So unfortunately, Titanic sunk Jurassic Park's dreams there.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
I also saw another thing there where it was saying that Jurassic Park is actually the oldest film in the $1 billion box office club, which I think is pretty amazing. Bravo, Jurassic Park. So, in terms of my final thoughts of this film, I think you can tell I love Jurassic Park. It is a film that I think goes beyond just childhood nostalgia. And as I mentioned, I think as an adult and on a rewatch, it gets better, and you start to see more things within the film that maybe you hadn't noticed before. I'm looking forward to my kids being of age that I can show them, because I think it's something that I really want to let them see. I've let them watch the Avengers movies and stuff, but there's nothing that's scary like Jurassic Park scary. And I don't want nightmares at bedtime. That's no fun. So, yeah, it's something I can't wait for them to be a bit older so that I can show them this film, because it really is special to me, and it's something, as I said, that as an 8 year old uh, was very close to my heart. This movie spawned a franchise. We got The Lost World and Jurassic Park 3. I actually really like Lost World. I always wondered what the film put to us, which was what would happen if you take one of these dinosaurs and put them in a city. So I got that and I was over the moon. It's not as good a story as the first one, but I don't think you're ever going to touch that. Um, World, I really did enjoy. I thought Jurassic World was gave me a good bit of hope that we're getting back to something that we had previously. And I'm interested to see what we get from the Scarlett Johansson led next chapter in this, which I think is called Rebirth. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing where we go. As I say, I'll always watch dinosaurs. I always am interested in it, and I'll always give dinosaurs a chance. But with that all said, it's over to you. What do you think of this movie? Leave a comment. Let me know. Let me know if you agree with what I say. If there's anything that I have missed in this. This movie's packed full of Easter eggs. One I'll throw for you: one of the producers is the guy with a triceratops. He's the doctor person who's there. That's one of the producers, I think Gerald Mullen or something his name is. And Steven Spielberg makes a cameo at the start of the movie when you've got the whole raptor attacking the guy scene. I've not even mentioned Samuel L. Jackson, how much I love him in this as well. Yeah, there's so much to this film that I've probably missed, but I'm trying to keep it in 13 minutes for some reason. So yeah, if you enjoyed this movie, you want to let me know, leave a comment down below and let me know what you think of it. If you've watched it, if you watched it recently, if you watched it back in the day, let me know what you think of this film. And as always, would appreciate any support for the channel. I would like to do more of this. It's quite time consuming. This is the first time I've done anything of this nature, of this length. So yeah, interested to see how it goes, and I would appreciate any feedback that you have on it to let me know what you think of the movie and what you think of this review. But with that all out the way, thank you very much for watching this video. Hope you have a good day, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.